During the question and answer session after your presentation, what if an audience member asks you a question? Not a regular question, but an intimidating one. How would you respond? Will you question and challenge this audience member? Or you will justify yourself? This is one of the many situations you might come across during questions and answer session. And in this video, we are going to look at 4 tips on how to handle difficult questions and how to handle difficult audience. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to Grow with Girija, where we learn about communication, public speaking, and life. Today's video is about how to handle questions, especially during presentations. If you have not already done, check out the first video in which I provide 4 tips on how to answer. And today is the second part of this series where I give additional 4 tips about the subtle components of handling difficult situations, difficult questions, and audience members. So let's get to it. Tip number 1, engage with the audience. We all intuitively know that a big part of our success in a presentation is about engaging with the audience. And question and answer session is no exception. But how do we do that? How do we build that engagement? There are 2 ways to do it. First, let me ask you a question. Do you feel a difference when someone responds to you by using your name versus not using your name? For most of us, we feel special if someone addresses us using our name. It is said that our name is one word which we all love to hear. So next time when you are responding to a question, use that audience member's name. If the name was told, remember. If the name was not provided, ask for that. If you did not catch the name, ask again and remember this time. In the previous video, I had given a tip about paying attention to the question. That tip also includes paying attention to that audience member's name. And that is the first way to engage with the audience. Second, at the end of your answer, ask the audience member if they got the information what they were looking for, or make a statement to end the question. Most people will happily say yes to this and will really appreciate that you ensured their understanding. But one word of caution, don't set up a trap for yourself. If you ask a question like, is this going to help you? A no to this question's answer will put you in an uncomfortable situation. You could rather say, hope this helps you in making a better decision in future. Remember, you can choose to ask the question back to the audience or not. If you really want to confirm their understanding, ask it. Otherwise, asking a question is optional. Tip number 2, don't over apologize. Sorry is just the right word if you need to use it. But that's it. You are the presenter. And if you don't have answer for a question, say sorry, I don't have the answer and move on. Or if someone points out that something in your presentation was not right or amiss, say that's a good or valid point and move on. It's not about being right or wrong. It's alright to make mistakes. Just because something was pointed out as being incorrect doesn't take away the fact that you presented the content. Handle it gracefully and move on. Don't over apologize. Tip number 3, acknowledge the tone of the question. What does it mean? Different questions have different tones and mood. And one skill to handle it like a professional is to acknowledge how you felt when you heard the question first. For example, if the question was interesting, start by saying, that is an interesting question. If you really like the question, say that is a very good question. If the question is funny, you can say that's a funny question. And what if the question is nasty and with an agenda? Don't say that. Use humor to handle that. For example, what if someone attacks you with a question like this? Why are you trying to influence everyone's opinion? You could either choose to attack that person back and be offensive and try to prove that they are wrong. Or you could be defensive and try to prove that you're not trying to do this. But in both the situation, it does not reflect well on your skills as a speaker. You could handle this in a better way using humor. You can respond by saying, I wish I had so much power over others. Even my neighbor doesn't listen to me. Remember, by acknowledging the tone of the question, you come across as someone confident and competent. Tip number 4, navigate the control. This is the invisible control of the session. When you open the floor for audience to ask the question, you are handing over the control to them. And when they ask the question, you get the control back. When you answer and again allow others to ask the questions, you are navigating the control. But remember, you are the person who can anytime take back the control because you are the presenter. You get to choose who can ask a question, whether a follow-up question is acceptable or not, or when to end the question and answer session. You don't need to ask anyone's permission. You are the one in the control of the session and make sure to retain that control. And hand over the control back to the host officially only when you are done speaking and you don't want to take any more questions. Practice by applying these 4 tips so that next time when you are in front of the audience and questions are being thrown at you, you handle it like a professional and with confidence. Do you have any tips which you have applied in such situations? If yes, write it down in the comment section and share with everyone. If you have any feedback on this video, give that in the comment section. If you like this video, like it. And if there are any tips which you think are useful for you, subscribe to my channel. I got this idea about this topic after having a discussion with my friend who was working on his listening skills at workplace during the meetings. He has benefited from these tips. Apply and take advantage of these. And I'll see you in another video of Grow with Girija.